Have you ever walked away from a conversation, feeling like something wasn't right, even though the other person smiled, laughed, and acted perfectly polite? What if the people who dislike you the most are the ones who never say it? Today, you're about to discover 5 subtle behaviors that psychology says often reveal hidden dislike. And trust me, number 5 is the one almost everyone misses. Nobody enjoys believing that someone secretly dislikes them. We naturally assume that if someone has a problem with us, they'll simply say it. But real life doesn't work that way. Most people don't express dislike directly. They hide it. Sometimes because they want to avoid conflict. Sometimes because they benefit from staying close to you. And sometimes because pretending to like you gives them more power than being honest ever could. That's why psychologists often say, people reveal themselves through patterns, not words. The smallest behaviors, the tiny inconsistencies, the little moments most people ignore, often expose what someone truly feels. Now, this doesn't mean every awkward interaction. It means someone hates you. Everyone has bad days. Everyone gets distracted. Context always matters. But when several of these behaviors happen consistently, especially with the same person, it's worth paying attention, because your peace of mind depends on recognizing who genuinely supports you and who simply tolerates your presence. As we go through these 5 behaviors, ask yourself one question. Who in your life does this remind you of? Let's begin. Behavior 1. They don't celebrate your success. Imagine this. You finally achieve something important, a promotion, a new relationship, a personal goal you've worked toward for years. You're excited. You share the news, expecting happiness. But their reaction feels strangely empty. Maybe they force a smile. Maybe they say, "That's nice." Maybe they immediately change the subject. Or even worse, they compare your achievement to someone else's. Psychologists call this passive devaluation. When someone secretly dislikes you, your success creates discomfort. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because your growth reminds them of what they haven't accomplished. Instead of celebrating, they minimize. Instead of encouraging, they become emotionally distant. Notice something interesting. People who genuinely care about you don't need to benefit from your success to be excited for you. Your happiness becomes their happiness, but someone hiding resentment often struggles to fake enthusiasm. Sometimes they'll even find tiny flaws. "Oh, that's a good job. But isn't the pay stressful? You bought a house. That's great, although the market might crash. You lost weight. Just don't become obsessed." See the pattern. Every compliment comes with a hidden sting. It's subtle, almost invisible, but over time, it becomes predictable. Healthy relationships multiply joy. Unhealthy ones quietly compete with it. And here's something many people never realize. Envy rarely announces itself. It whispers. It disguises itself as concern, as advice, as realism. But beneath those words is an inability to simply be happy for you. The next time you share exciting news, don't just listen to what people say. Watch their face. Watch their energy. Watch whether your success makes them smile or makes them uncomfortable. Because emotions are incredibly difficult to fake. And hidden dislike often leaks through during the moments when you're shining the brightest. Behavior 2. They give you backhanded compliments. Have you ever received a compliment that somehow made you feel worse instead of better? At first, you smile. You think they were being kind. But a few minutes later, you replay the conversation in your mind, and something feels off. That's because not every compliment is actually a compliment. Sometimes it's criticism, wearing a friendly disguise. A backhanded compliment is one of the most common behaviors of someone who secretly dislikes you. Instead of attacking you directly, they hide the insult inside praise. They might say, "Wow, you actually look really good today." Or, "I wasn't expecting you to do such a great job." Or, "You've become a lot more confident lately." Notice what's happening. The focus isn't on lifting you up. It's on reminding you that they expected less from you. Psychologists suggest that people often use this kind of communication when they want to lower someone's confidence without appearing openly rude. If you react negatively, they can always say, "I was just complimenting you." It's the perfect disguise. These comments are designed to make you question yourself, to leave you wondering, did they mean that as a compliment or an insult? And that confusion is exactly the point. Because people who secretly dislike you often prefer emotional manipulation over direct confrontation. They want to maintain the image of being nice while quietly damaging your self-esteem. Think about how different it feels when someone genuinely admires you. Their compliments are simple, clear, warm. There's no hidden message, no comparison, no unnecessary sting. They celebrate who you are without reminding you of who you used to be. But hidden resentment always leaves fingerprints, even in kind words. Another clue is timing. Backhanded compliments often appear right after you've accomplished something important. Maybe you've earned a promotion, finished a big project, started a healthier lifestyle. Instead of saying, "I'm proud of you," they say, "I never thought you'd actually stick with it." The achievement becomes secondary. Their surprise becomes the main story. Over time, these small comments can slowly chip away at your confidence, not because they're true, but because repetition is powerful. The human brain remembers criticism far longer than praise. That's why it's important to notice patterns, not isolated moments. One awkward comment means very little, but constant backhanded compliments often reveal feelings that words are trying to hide. The healthiest people in your life won't make you decode their kindness. You'll never have to wonder whether they meant to hurt you, because real support doesn't come wrapped in hidden insults. Behavior 3. They never truly listen when you speak. Have you ever been talking and realized the other person wasn't really there? They nodded, they smiled, maybe they even said, "Uh-huh." But somehow, you knew they weren't listening. One of the clearest signs that someone secretly dislikes you is emotional disengagement. It doesn't always look like anger. Sometimes it looks like indifference. When someone values you, they become curious. They ask questions. They remember details. They make you feel heard, because listening is one of the deepest forms of respect. But someone who secretly dislikes you often struggles to give you that attention. Watch what happens when you start telling a story. Do they interrupt? Do they suddenly check their phone? Do their eyes wander around the room, searching for someone else? Or perhaps they're only waiting for their turn to speak. Some people don't listen to understand. They listen just long enough to talk about themselves. Psychologists call this conversational narcissism. Every topic somehow finds its way back to them. You mention a challenge, but they immediately tell you how theirs was harder. You celebrate good news. They quickly shift the spotlight onto their own achievements. Without realizing it, they erase your moment. When someone secretly dislikes you, your experiences simply don't feel important to them. Another subtle clue is forgetfulness. Not the normal kind. Everyone forgets things sometimes. But if someone repeatedly forgets the conversations that mattered to you, your birthday, your goals, your important milestones, while easily remembering details about people they admire, that difference says a lot. Attention is one of the greatest gifts we give another person. Where attention goes, respect usually follows. Of course, there are exceptions. Stress, exhaustion, mental health, distractions, any of these can affect someone's ability to focus. That's why one distracted conversation doesn't prove anything. Look for consistency. Patterns tell the truth, far better than isolated moments. Ask yourself, how do you feel after spending time with this person? Do you feel heard, valued, understood, or do you leave feeling almost invisible? The people who genuinely care about you won't just hear your words, they'll remember them, because listening isn't about staying quiet. It's about making someone feel that their voice matters. And when someone consistently refuses to give you that gift, their silence may be saying far more than their words ever could. Behavior 4. They exclude you in small, subtle ways. Not everyone who dislikes you will argue with you. Some people will simply make you feel like you don't belong, and that's what makes this behavior so difficult to recognize. Because exclusion is rarely loud. It's quiet, it's subtle, and over time it can be incredibly painful. Maybe everyone else receives an invitation, except you. Maybe a group conversation suddenly goes silent the moment you walk over, or perhaps plans are made right in front of you, without anyone asking if you'd like to come. Each moment seems small on its own, easy to dismiss, easy to excuse. But together, they begin to form a pattern. Psychologists often describe social exclusion as one of the strongest emotional stressors humans experience. Why? Because we're wired for connection. Being included tells us we're accepted. Being repeatedly left out makes us question our worth. The important thing is this: people who secretly dislike you often don't want to confront you. Instead, they slowly create distance. Not enough for others to notice, but enough for you to feel it. Watch how they behave around different people. Do they laugh freely with everyone else, but become unusually quiet around you? Do they eagerly support other people's ideas, while ignoring yours until someone else repeats the exact same thing? Have you ever shared an opinion, only for the room to ignore it, until another person says it, and suddenly everyone agrees? That isn't always intentional. But when it happens repeatedly, with the same people, it's worth paying attention. Another subtle sign is body language. People naturally turn their bodies toward those they enjoy being around. When someone consistently angles themselves away from you, avoids standing next to you, or leaves little space for you to join the conversation, their actions may be revealing what their words never will. Healthy relationships create space for people. Unhealthy ones make people feel invisible. Remember, real friends don't make you chase belonging. You should never have to beg for a seat at the table where you're truly valued. The right people won't just let you in, they'll make room for you. Because inclusion isn't just about being invited. It's about feeling wanted. Behavior 5. They act friendly to your face, but different when you're not around. Perhaps the most revealing behavior of all is inconsistency. When someone genuinely likes you, their respect stays the same, whether you're in the room or not. But someone who secretly dislikes you often wears two completely different faces. One for you, and another for everyone else. They smile, they ask how you're doing, they act supportive, everything seems perfectly normal, but somehow, you keep hearing strange things. A mutual friend mentions a comment they made about you, someone asks why they think you're upset, even though you never said you were. Rumors begin appearing that seem to have no clear source. Little misunderstandings start following you. This is one of the oldest forms of hidden hostility, because direct conflict requires courage. Indirect conflict requires only opportunity. Psychologists sometimes refer to this as relational aggression. Instead of attacking openly, a person damages relationships through gossip, subtle criticism, or creating doubt in other people's minds. And the most frustrating part, they often remain the nice person in everyone else's eyes. That's why trusting actions is more important than trusting appearances. Ask yourself, do their words match their behavior? Do they defend you when you're absent? Or do they only treat you well when you're standing in front of them? Character isn't revealed by how someone treats you when you're watching. It's revealed by what they choose to do when you aren't there to see it. The people who truly value you protect your reputation, even when you never find out. They celebrate your victories, speak honestly, and never need to tear you down to feel better about themselves. So if you've recognized several of these behaviors, don't rush to anger. Instead, gain clarity. Not everyone is meant to stay in every chapter of your life. Sometimes the greatest act of self-respect is quietly stepping away from people who secretly hoped you would never realize how little they valued you. The truth is, not everyone who smiles at you is happy to see you, and not everyone who stays in your life deserves a place in it. The good news is that you don't need everyone to like you. You only need the right people, the ones who celebrate your wins, respect your boundaries, and make you feel valued, even when there's nothing to gain. Remember, your energy is precious. Don't waste it trying to earn the approval of people who have already decided not to appreciate your worth. Instead, invest your time in relationships that bring you peace, not confusion. Because the people who truly belong in your life will never make you question where you stand with them. If this video opened your eyes or reminded you of someone, take it as a lesson, not a reason for bitterness. Awareness isn't about becoming suspicious of everyone. It's about protecting your peace and choosing healthier relationships. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next psychology video. And tell us in the comments, which of these 5 behaviors surprised you the most? Or have you ever experienced one yourself? Share this video with someone who deserves to know the difference between genuine kindness and hidden dislike. Until next time, stay observant, stay confident, and always choose people who choose you.